ओम नमः परमऋषिभ्यो नमः परमऋषिभ्यः हरिः ओम। यस्यान्तन्नादिमध्यं न हि करचरणं नामगोत्रं न सूत्रं नो जातिर्नैव वर्णा न भवति पुरुषो न नपुंसं न च स्त्रीं नाकारं नो विकारं न हि जनिमरणं नास्ति पुण्यं न पापं तत्त्वं नो तत्त्वमेकं सहजसमरसं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। शिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं वर्षिष्ठान्तेव सदृशिगणैः आवृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिम् ईडे। वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय यतये शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादिनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने। अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकमहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनाम् सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्नाम् अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतस्य अर्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषां धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि कस्मै येन विभासितोऽयमतुलो ज्ञानप्रदीपः पुरा तद्रूपेण च नारदाय मुनये कृष्णाय तद्रूपिणाम् योगीन्द्राय तदात्मनाथ भगवद्राताय कारुण्यतः तच्छुद्धं विमलं विशोकममृतं सत्यं परं धीमहि। धर्मः प्रोज्झितगैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम्। श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैः ईश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यते त्रिकृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबद भागवतं रसम् आलयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतम् अपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिम् आनतोऽस्मि यस्वानुभावमखिलश्रुतिसारमेकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अतितितीर्षदां तमोन्धं संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यं तं व्याससूनुमुपयामि गुरुं मुनीनाम् नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् सत्यव्रतं सत्यपरं त्रिसत्यं सत्यस्य योनिं निहितं च सत्ये सत्यस्य सत्यं ऋतसत्यनेत्रं सत्यात्मकं त्वां शरणं प्रपन्नाहम् स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। पवित्रं चरितं यस्याः पवित्रं जीवनं तथा पवित्रता स्वरूपिण्यै तस्यै देव्यै नमो नमः। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। By the grace of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, we have assembled here to meditate upon Bhagavad Guna, Bhagavatam, which speaks about the most sacred, holiest dharma. The first verse we said it spoke about Satyam, and the second verse is Dharma. Actually, Dharma, that one word contains everything. In Bhagavad Gita Bhashya, Shankaracharya says dharma means dvividho hi vedokto dharma. It is twofold. One is satyam, that is jnanam, nivritti. The other is karma, which is pravritti. Dvividho hi vedokto dharma. Pravritti lakshano, nivritti lakshanasya. This is both the path of renunciation and the path of devout worldly life, family life, Vedic life. Both are spoken about in Bhagavatam. And the highest dharma is Bhagavad Bhakti, Bhagavati Bhakti. There is no deception there. So, prodjita kaitavaha. Kaitava means deception. How can there be deception in dharma? Sometimes in the name of dharma, we will do many things. For example, in the Vedic karma, for certain rituals, even in the Shraddha karma, we have to do dana of a cow, godana. And neither the Brahmin will accept it, nor the householder is ready to give it. Because where will the Brahmin take a cow and keep it in Bangalore? So, they will say give money instead of cow. And the householder also is ready for that. So this is a method that we find in the so-called ritualistic dharma. You can have some kind of adjustments. So that is not possible in spiritual life. It is pure dharma. That is why Swami Vivekananda in one place said, spirituality is only for the few. The pure spirituality. The rest will have some drill time religion, some standing up and sitting down. So that kind of religion is possible. But that is also needed to a certain extent. So that bhava comes, the pure bhava comes only when there is absolute freedom from desire, from hatred. See, that is what bhakti means. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, what is bhakti? It means adveshta sarvabhutanam maitrah karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukka sukhakshami santushtas satatam yogi yatatma dridhanishyaha mayarpita mano buddhihi Yomad Bhaktas Same Priyaha. A big list of great qualities. No hatred, friendship with all, and compassion. See, Patanjali says this, Maitree, Karuna, Mudita, and Upeksha. See, all these texts are connected. In Bhagavatam also the same thing comes. Before this Uddhava Upadesha, there is a definition for bhakti. The first kind of bhakta is, the supreme bhakta is one who beholds the entire world divine. Look at the world as Bhagavan, everyone as Bhagavan. He is the Bhagavatottama. That is supreme bhakti, Paraa bhakti. In that Paraa bhakti, there is no difference at all, no dvaita at all. So that is supreme. The second grade bhakta is Ishvare tadadineshu balisheshu dvisatsucha prema maitri kripa upeksha. The same idea comes in a different form. He has connection with bhaktas. That is very much needed. You need satsanga. Constant satsanga is needed. Bhagavata gives a two kind of prescription. You should know the art of keeping away from your own mind. Manasaha asangam. Detachment of mind, detachment from mind. The mind will be saying many things, you don't listen to the mind. You keep away from your mind. This is the inward practice. Outwardly, sangam cha sadhushu. Outwardly you have company, contact with divine beings. In their presence you have renunciation, no hatred, Maitree bhava, karuna, love for God. These things are needed. Yesterday we spoke about Adarsen. He tells Sri Ramakrishna, he is inviting Ramakrishna to his home. And when Ramakrishna goes there, Adarsen says, after this, for some more days, I can breathe pure air here. You have not visited this house for a long time, hence the very air in the house is stinking. The divine fragrance is not there. So even for a householder, you have to very often have this, just like we want good oxygen, like that, you need that spiritual breathing in. You need contact with saints who just emanate vairagya, who emanate bhakti, who speak about jnana, who speak about bhakti, who live that life, so that you will get energy. See, you will not get that energy simply from books. Books, a little bit you will get. But in direct contact with saints, you get a strange power. And Krishna calls it in Ekadasha Skanda as the greatest secret. He says, Sugopyam api vakshyami. It is the greatest secret, that what you get from direct contact with an enlightened being or a bhakta or a saint. See, Ramakrishna used to do this magic. When some devotees come to him, he will connect them with another devotee. He will say, go to him. Someone comes from Calcutta, he will say, some youngsters, you go and have connection with Narendra. You go and have connection with Rakal. Like that he will do, because this mutual, one of the greatest magic of Ramakrishna's life, which I don't think exists with any other master, is this mutual love and respect between the direct disciples. They all had such a beautiful connection. No jealousy, no separate opinion, no rift. Some fight will come, but again they will join together with love. So that was something very rare, very unique. So this comes from satsanga. Adveshta sarva bhutanam. This is pure dharma. Projhita kaitava dharma. Maitraha, friendship with all. You have Maitree bhava, no hatred, and Maitree bhava. Friendship is there. Maitraha, you have bhakti, you can have friendship everywhere. Wherever you go, you will find someone as your friend. Even Buddha is called a friend. They used to call him as Maitreya Buddha. Guru, in Buddhism they call Guru as Kalyana Mitra. He is called as an auspicious blessed friend. So I thought it is special to Buddhism. But while I was reading Ramayana, in the Sundarakanda, Sita says to Hanuman that Rama is my Kalyana Mitra. So perhaps Sita stayed in Sri Lanka, from there they took this word. You don't know. The Kalyana Mitra, he is my Kalyana Mitra, very blessed friend, who takes me in this Kalyana Marga, in that auspicious path to Mukti, liberation. So, no hatred and Maitree bhava, that friendship to all. These are all Bhagavata Dharma. This is the blessed Bhagavata Dharma. Whenever I say about Maitree bhava, I am always reminded about one story, which I have spoken many times, about Swami Ramatirtha. Actually, Ramatirtha, in his Purvashrama, he was known as Tirtharam Goswami. After Swami Vivekananda, in the same time, he became very well known in the world as a very powerful speaker of Vedanta, as a Jivan Mukta. And he was inspired by Swami Vivekananda. When Swami Vivekananda visited Lahore, he was at that time a householder. He was the professor in Lahore College. And Swami Vivekananda's presence and his talks, it just stirred him very deeply. And by that time itself, he had deep association with the Puri Shankaracharya, and he had learned Vedanta. So they were walking in a park, and Tirtharam Goswami was talking to another person and telling him, a knower of Brahman and who takes delight in Brahman, Atma Rama, he remains always in the inundation of the self. He is never aware of the other. He is ever in the divine. Tirtharam Goswami was just going on describing about the state of a Mukta Purusha. Swami Vivekananda came near him, touched him in his shoulder, and in his ears he whispered, "Such was my master." He said, my master was like that. Ramakrishna was like that. And when Vivekananda was going, from that place, Ramatirtha opened his library and said, Swamiji, you take whatever you want. And he took only a poem book, some English poem, Walt Whitman book. And to Swamiji he presented a wristwatch. Swamiji took that wristwatch and put it back in Ramatirtha's pocket and told him, let it remain in this pocket, which is also mine, in this pocket. So that watch will always remain in one. He never perhaps used it for seeing time. So whenever people used to ask him what is the time, he will show one. Ekameva advitiyam, no two, no time. Time stopped there. So later on, after Swamiji's return from Chicago, after that only this exodus started. Many people started going there to West and giving talks. So Ramatirtha was also compelled. That time only he took sannyas and stayed in Tehri Garhwal. From Rishikesh, if you go about nearly 10 kilometers, not even 10, there is a cave there. Even last time when we went there, very beautiful place. There only he stayed for some time. And there only he dropped his body later on. So he also went to America. First he went to Japan. From Japan, somebody was following him, one Narayana Swami. He said, you go another direction, don't follow me. If we mutually travel, we will depend upon each other. So I want to go alone. Rama, he will not say I. Rama wants to go alone. So he was going in those days in a ship. So he was about to land in one place, I don't remember which place. He should land there. He had no bag, no luggage, nothing. Then one European American person came to the deck and asked, he was attracted to him and asked him, Sir, are you going to get down here? Swami Ramatirtha said, yes. Don't you have any luggage? No. Rama carries only what he wants, a small bag, nothing else. Then he said, don't you have money with you? Rama never carries money, he said. So you must be having some friends here. Yes. Where? You are, he said. And till Ramatirtha came back, he looked after his need and took care of him. Everything was done. So this is Maitree bhava. That friendship with all. Wherever you go, you find friends. So this Maitree bhava, Maitra, this is Bhagavata Dharma. A bhakta finds friends everywhere. Wherever he goes, he finds all belong to us. Everyone belong to us. We are all one. So that was the bhakti, that is the bhakti lakshana. Nirmatsaranam satam vedyam, no matsara, no competition. In bhakti marga, no competition. I am a big bhakta, he is a big bhakta. I am a great sadhaka, I am greater than him. This matsarya, this competition is against bhakti. So in bhakti, no competition. So bhaktas all connected, collected. Ishware bhaktihi adhineshu maitri bhavaha balisheshu kripa dvishatsu upeksha. Those who hate bhakta, he is not bothered about him. The easiest way to deal with people who hate you, don't think about them. Don't think about them. Shankaracharya quotes one sloka. He says, Vivadatsveva nikshipya vidveshodbhava karanam taihi abadhita sadbuddhihi sukham nirvati vedavit. Somebody is hating you, let them keep it. Don't even know it. Don't even probe it and know it. The moment you probe it and know it, you will carry it. So let them keep it. Don't think about it. Sukham nirvati. You stay peacefully without knowing about that. So this is the best way to deal with upeksha. So this is Bhagavata Dharma. Only such people can have that Bhagavad Bhakti, that sadhana, adhyatma, anubhuti. So nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastavamatra vastu shivadam tapatraya unmoolanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite. Who is this Mahamuni? Vedavyasa. Mahamuni Krite Kim va paraihi. You don't need any other book. The moment you listen, Sadyo hridi avarudhyate trakriti shushrushubhi stakshanat. The highest Vedanta. Because in Vedanta people will say what Vedanta speaks. Some people will say Videha Mukti. You can know, and after death you will attain liberation. You will go to Brahmaloka and get liberated. Another group will say no. You can attain Jivan Mukti. When you are while in embodiment, you can attain liberation. But the highest knower of the Upanishads, they will say neither Videha Mukti nor Jivan Mukti. They will say Sadhyo Mukti. Instantaneous liberation. Because the moment you listen, that very moment, because the self is already shining forth within you. The Atman is aparoksha. It is direct, immediate, here and now. It is shining within us as our own I am, our own existence, our own swarupa. That is why we use the term Kantabharana Nyaya. It is like the necklace in your neck and you have forgotten it. And somebody says you are already wearing it in your neck and you just touch it. Oh, it is there and I am searching for it here and there. Like that, you are the Atma. See, many places in Jnana Yoga talks, Swami Vivekananda says, Vivekananda Swami's talks, it's all so powerful because he will go on declaring that you are the Atman, you are the self, you are Brahman. And the mystery is, when he speaks about Vedanta, people will enter Samadhi for the time being. Those who were listening, they will go into, even without knowing the meaning, the power of a knower's words. Sometimes they will enter into a kind of ecstasy. And after the talk, they will go out and say, we cannot remember anything. We don't know, this person is hypnotizing us. And one day one girl stood up and said, sir, you are hypnotizing us. And Swamiji said, my dear child, there is no need for hypnotization. You are already hypnotized. You think yourself as a man or a woman, this body. You are Brahman. I am only waking you up. You are dreaming. I am only waking you up. You wake up. I am only dehypnotizing you. So this is Vedanta. Anadimayaya suptaha yada jiva prabudhyate ajam anidram aswappanam advaitam buddhyate tada. For time immemorial we were being sleeping and dreaming, and the teacher, the Deshika, comes and roars and tells, wake up. And you wake up and recognize that you are already free, absolutely free. The moment you listen to the teacher, that very moment you experience. That is why they say, you want to do sadhana and later on come. Because this is not a sadhana marga. Here there is no sadhaka, no sadhana, nor sadhya. That one thing alone exists. The moment you listen, shushrushubihi takshanat. That shushrushu means the listener who wants to listen. He listens and instantaneously recognizes, here, now, recognize that I am Brahman. That is Bhagavatam. In the end also, that is what is given to Parikshit. Not going to Vaikuntha or any other place. Shukacharya gives him, Tvam turajan marishyeti pashubuddhimimam jahi. Oh, my dear king, don't think you are going to die. Na jatahatvam. You are not born. When people used to ask Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi about future birth, Bhagavan used to say, are you born now? He used to ask, are you born now? Do you think you are born? Yes, I am. Then who is this I? Who says I am born? And you inquire, you find that there is neither birth nor death. Actually, this birth, nobody remembers. Somebody has to tell us our birthday. Nobody can remember their birthday. Nobody remembers. So too, nobody can experience death also. In existence, neither bhava nor abhava, it is beyond that. It is ever existent, sat, that's satta. So, this is the teaching of Bhagavata, that very instant you listen, you become free. You hear, you become free. Because you are already free, vimuktasya vimuchyate. You are already free and you listen, you get this knowledge and you know that you are absolutely free. That freedom is Vedanta. That freedom is Bhagavata. So that is, that very moment Bhagavan shines forth in the heart. Shushrushubihi takshanat. That very moment Ishvaraha hridi avarudhyate. Ishvara shines forth in the heart the moment you listen. So that is the first shloka and second shloka. That jnanam and dharma, satyam and dharma. And we also had, yesterday we said, this nigama kalpataror galitam phalam, the fruit which has fallen from the Vedic tree. It means the knower goes out of the world laukika and vaidika. The moment the person knows Brahman, he walks out of the path of the worldly and also out of the path of the Vedic path. He is free, absolutely free. Nothing can bind him. No one can bind him. So he goes out. That is the fruit which has fallen from the Vedic tree. It has become absolutely free. That freedom. So nigama kalpataroho galitam phalam. Ramakrishna says about a Kalpataru. He speaks about Kalpataru. He also became Kalpataru. January 1st, before his Mahanirvan Mahasamadhi, one day he became Kalpataru. Kalpataru means whatever wish-yielding tree. So the devotees were all assembled around him. He came there and Girish Chandra Ghosh, one of the devotees, was there. So to him he asked, what do you think about this? You speak about this in many ways. And he said, what can I say? Which Valmiki and Vyasa could not say. Then suddenly Ramakrishna enters into Samadhi and touches the heart of all those who were assembled there. They all had spiritual, deep, profound spiritual experience. Some had the vision of Ishta Devata. Someone, his awareness was lifted. There was a shift in his awareness. All were initiated. So, that is, in Ramakrishna devotees celebrate it as Kalpataru Day, January 1st. But another Kalpataru Ramakrishna speaks. Our mind is very dangerous. So Ramakrishna tells about a devotee, a person, a family man who was traveling from one place to another, and one day he was tired. He was resting under a tree in a forest. Suddenly he felt very hungry. He thought, if someone will give me some food, it will be good. Suddenly food appeared. A leaf was kept, various kind of eatables were there, dish was there. He had a very sumptuous meal. While eating, he thought someone will come and serve, that will be good. Suddenly someone appeared. And they were all serving him food. After that, he thought, okay, now I think something is happening. So I will have a short nap. So if I can get a good couch, that will be good. Suddenly a couch appeared. And he was lying down, he thought someone will massage my feet, and somebody was there. And the mind is very risky. It is a forest. He thought, oh, this is a forest. What will happen if a tiger comes? And tiger also came. There ends the story. So this is the mind. The samsara mana. So this is very dangerous. So we don't want that kind of Kalpataru. The real Kalpataru is, it will give only what is good for you. Hitakrit, not priyakrit. It will do only what is beneficial for you. A guru will do only what is beneficial for you. So that is it. So this fruit is the final product of Vedic tree. A person attains the highest wisdom and completely becomes free, absolutely free. That is Nigama Kalpataroho Galitam Phalam. And such a one was Shukacharya. Bhagavan Shukacharya is the fruit of Vyasa's lineage. Generally we say Narayanam, Padmabhuvam, Vasishtam, Shaktim cha, Tatputra Parasharam cha, Vyasam, Shukam. There ends. After that only Shishya Parampara. There it is father, son, like that comes, and that tree comes to a sweet fruition, a blessed fruition in Shukacharya as a Jivan Mukta. When a great being appears in a family, that family is blessed, it is Purna. So Nigama Kalpataroho Galitam Phalam Shukamukhat Amrta Drava Sanyutam. When he is speaking, it is Amrta. That is why when Ramakrishna was speaking, people used to wonder what is happening. And when he was in his last days, there was throat pain, cancer, and Dr. Sarkar will come and he will say, you should not strain yourself, speak, but you can speak to me. He will say, you can speak to me, because that is pure Amrita. That is pure nectar, which will give you liberation, which will make you feel the divine. So even in those last days, it was all bliss. So that Bhagavad Katha is flowing from him, Upadesha is flowing from him. So that is the Amrita Drava. Amrita Drava Sayyutam Pibada Bhagavatam. Pibada Bhagavatam. As long as you are alive, you have to drink Bhagavatam. What will you do in life? Pibada Bhagavatam. The spiritual, so many spiritual books are here. What will we do? Go on reading them. You do sadhana and read books. Elevating books. There is a Nityanushtana shloka, Mahavakya Darpana, Durvasana Pratikara. In that Kriti, Vidyaranya Swami, I think, he says, Pratar Vaidika Karmataha Tadanusad Vedanta Sanchintaya Pashyad Bharata Moksha Dharma Mananat Vasishtha Ramayanat Sayam Bhagavadartha Divyakathaya Ratrau Nididhyasanat Kalo Gachatinaha Sharira Bharanam Prarabdha Kantarpitam. You have to live so many years. How will you live? From morning to night, some duration you will do japa, for some time you will do meditation, sometime you will have a visit to temples, do pradakshana, and sometimes you will have reading of Bhagavata, Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, and when it is all quiet in night, Ratrau Nididhyasana. In night time, Ramakrishna used to say, 4 people will not sleep. The bhogi will not sleep, rogi will not sleep, and 3. Generally Ramakrishna says 3. Yogi also will not sleep. Yesterday I spoke about Swami Niswanji Maharaj used to say the Drohi also will not sleep. You see, the Drohi also will not sleep. So, Bhogi, Yogi, Rogi and Drohi, you can say. All these four will not sleep in night. So the yogi will, what will the yogi do? He will be doing Nididhyasana, Samadhi. You had Shravana and Manana, and then constant innering, constant holding to it, internalizing it, just experiencing abidance in one's own real nature, Swarupe Avasthanam, making the mind roost in the self, repose in the self. So that is Nididhyasana. When everyone sleeps, when it is all quiet, still, the yogi withdraws himself and abides in his real nature. So this is, thus the day comes to an end. Like that every day, every day, every day. This is liberation. Shankaracharya says, Jivan Muktaha Khalu. Such a person is Jivan Mukta. All time in sadhana, bhakti, japa, dhyana. Such a one is a Jivan Mukta. If you can live like that, you need not bother about whether you will get liberation or not. Because always you are living in God. Tasyaham sulabhav partha nityayuktasya yoginaha. You are constantly having recollection, no fear at all. Always remembering Him, and you stay in that ecstasy, in that liberation. So this is Bhagavata Dharma. So we have had a good introduction. Bhagavata begins thus, and Bhagavata is spoken in the beginning by Suta. His name is Ugra Shravas. Ugra means terrific. Shrava means fame. He became so well known due to Bhagavatam. And this Ugra Shravas is the son of Lomaharshana, who is Vyasa's direct disciple. You can see from that name, Lomaharshana means he will sit with all his heirs standing erect. That is always in ecstasy. And Ugra Shravas was a small boy sitting on the bank of Ganga while Parikshit was listening to Bhagavatam. You can see it in the end of the Bhagavatam. Because he was a small boy, he just out of curiosity went there. Because our king has renounced everything and sitting on the Ganga Tira. And there came this great Jivan Mukta, the Paramahamsa, the liberated being. Tatra abhavat bhagavan Vyasaputraha. Nobody called him, no invitation. Yadrichaya matamano anapekshaha. Desireless, absolutely free. He was moving about in the world and like a dry leaf going in the wind. That was according to the will of God he was moving about. Like that he came to the bank of Ganga where Parikshit was waiting. And the grand satsanga happened for 7 days. After giving the Mahavakya Upadesha to Parikshit, Shukacharya stood up and looked at this child sitting there, this Ugra Shravas. He was sitting in Samadhi. They call it Veda Samadhi because directly the Mukhya Shrota was Parikshit. So to him was Bhagavatam given. But the arrow hit this boy who was sitting there unknown to anyone. He directly took it. Then smiled. Shukacharya smiled and said, Vakshyati asau sutaha. This suta will speak Bhagavatam in the coming years because this Shastra will live through him. Because Parikshit will now vanish. But this Suta will take Bhagavata to the world. He has got it. So Suta is a direct disciple of Bhagavan Shukacharya. That is why in Bhagavata he will not tell about Shukacharya's name. He will only say Bhagavan Vyasaputraha. Tatra abhavat Bhagavan Vyasaputraha. Not Bhagavan Shuka. because Shukacharya is his guru. So, this Ugrashrava is the speaker of Bhagavatam. He is giving this Bhagavatam to so many sages. One of the well-known sages is Shaunaka. Shaunaka is called Bahuricha. He is a Rigveda Rishi. So he is the best listener, the chief listener. So with all that, Sutta, Bhagavata is given to him, and thus begins Bhagavata. After 10 skandhas, the 10th skandha is called Nirodha Skandha. You hear Krishna Katha, your mind comes to Niruddhavastha. Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Our mind is constantly active. You listen to Bhagavad Katha, that is one of the easiest, simplest method to bring the mind to oneself, to collect the mind to oneself. Shrinvan Katham. You have to listen to Bhagavad Katha, otherwise you know what will happen? Always our Katha. Always, you know what I did, this is my story, I was working in this office, my son, my daughter, my family, and people whom I know, always speaking about Paraswabhava Karmani. Very, very powerful Upadeshas are there in Bhagavata. Paraswabhava Karmani na prashamset na garhayet. This is one Upadesha that is given by Krishna to Uddhava. When you don't speak about another person, don't speak about another person's character or even action. Na prashamsayet, neither praise nor speak ill about him. Na garhayet, vishwam ekatmakam pashyan. See the entire world as one Atma. As the Atman. Vishwam ekatmakam pashyan prakritya purushena cha. The Prakriti, Purusha, everything is nothing but that Atman, that pure consciousness, the self, the divine, Bhagavan. The moment you speak about another, you fall from spiritual height. It is pramada. Paraswabhava karmani yaha prashamsati nindate saha ashubhrashyate swarthat asati abhiniveshata. Because you have the abhinivesha for the unreal. So don't speak about another person, don't speak about anything other than God. Don't speak about yourself also, because this I is also another person. Your own me is also another person. Neither speak about my story, my family, nor speak about another person's story, So Vyasa found out this method, this Katha Yoga. If you want to speak, speak about Bhagavad Katha. Vani gunanu kathane shravanau kathayam hastau cha karmasu manastab tavapadayoho na smrityam shirastava nivasa jagat praname drishtis sadam darshanestu bhavattanunam. Let the body work, but when you speak about only Bhagavan or Bhagavan Nama. You constantly chant Bhagavan Nama, nothing else. Sharada Devi used to say, fingers are given to us in our palm so that you can count Bhagavan Nama. Don't do anything else. Chant Bhagavan Nama, nothing else. You will become pure. So, Vani Gunanu Kathane, with the ears, what should I do? Shravanau Kathayam, you listen only Bhagavad Katha. Hastaucha, with the hand, what should I do? Work. Not simply puja. You can do any work. You can do work, whatever work will become puja. Ekanath Maharaj, in his Ekanathi Bhagavat, in Marathi, he says, you are sweeping the floor, cleaning some place while chanting Bhagavan Nama, and have the contemplation that the Vishwam is Bhagavan. With that you chant the Nama and clean your house, take all the dust, all that waste thing and put it in the backyard of your house or in the dustbin, Narayanarpanam. And he says that will become puja. That will become a great worship. So you have Vani Gunanukatane. See, this is one way, no? You have many Bhagavatas, they have this sampradaya. If you go for a visit, the moment you come, they will say, come, we will read Bhagavatam. Open the book, not even asking where are you coming from, what is your name, all these details they will not ask. The moment you arrive, they will open the book and start reading Bhagavatam. And like that, if you train yourself, someone comes, take some Ramakrishna gospel or something, start reading, either they will not come next time. It is the best way to drive out certain people, or even if they come, it will become good satsanga. Whenever they come, no worldly talk. No I, you, he, this kind of talks. See, this is the grand state that Narayana Guru was a great sage. When he came to see Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi in Skandashrama, he just looked at Maharshi, no talk, nothing, no vikalpa. Seeing that grand state, he wrote 5 verses. The first verse is, Ko nama deshaha, ka jatihi, pravrittihi ka, kiyadvayaha, ityadi vadoparatihi, yasya tasyaiva nirvrittihi. No worldly talk, such a person will have nirvriti, shanti. Because from every worldly talk, something else will come, something else will come, something else will come, and you will end up in total chaos. So this we can see, observe, especially when we become very alert, very mindful, very vigilant. We will see small activities will lead us to confusion. So this sadhana is very important. Bhagavat Guna Anukathana. Or if you cannot speak, you just read. Do Parayanam. Going on doing Parayanam, somebody comes, you are doing Parayanam for them. There were great Mahatmas, even now some Bhagavatas are there. They will read, say, I will read one chapter. Someone will come to him for taking blessing for the marriage of their daughter. They will say, oh, I will read you one chapter from Bhagavatam. I will read you one chapter from Narayani. That's over. That talk is over. No other talk. Like that, this is Bhagavata Dharma. So there, Bhagavat Katha is to avoid the ego's Katha. Otherwise the ego it's a great storyteller. Constantly telling its own story or someone else's story, politics, what is happening in the world, here, there, all these things will come into the mind. This is samsara. So to avoid that, Bhagavan Vedavyasa created a vibhuti. A spiritual, powerful vibhuti in the form of Bhagavata, so that you have plenty to spend your time. That is why we say Kalakshepa. Kalakshepa. You have so much time, what will you do? Go on reading Bhagavata, contemplate on Bhagavat Katha. Don't contemplate on your Katha, don't contemplate on another person's Katha. See, Katha we very much like Katha. Katha is ruling now. All this television, mobile, always in Katha. Someone's Katha. We are always in the world of someone's Katha. Someone is giving you some Katha. So, better keep you in an elevated state of Katha. You cannot avoid Katha. So, the best way of avoiding this worldly Katha is Bhagavad Katha. So, constantly you have Bhagavad Katha, Smaranta Smarayantasya Mitaha Aghauga Haram Harim. We have entered Ekadasha Skanda. In the beginning, very beginning, Narada says, Smarantaha Smarayantasya Mitaha Aghauga Haram Harim Bhaktya Sanjataya Bhaktya Bibhrati Utpulakam Tanum. Two bhaktas they sit. One bhakta speaks, another bhakta listens. And he speaks, this bhakta listens. And both stays there in ecstatic state, in a romancha. With horripilation in their body, they stay in an ecstasy. Smarantaha, they remember and make others also remember. Smarayantasya mitaha, mutually. Agauga haram harim. Agha means papa, sin. And what is sin? Thinking about the world is sin. The mind thinks about worldly things, it accrues vasana. So to avoid that, smaranta smarayantasya mitaha agauga haram harim. And this is sadhana bhakti. Oh, by this sadhana bhakti, you attain para bhakti. Bhaktya sanjataya bhaktya. One bhakti leads to another bhakti. From bhakti you move to bhakti. From sadhana bhakti you move to para bhakti. Para bhakti means Bhagavati. You see the entire world as Bhagavan. That is para bhakti. Krishna says in Gita, what is para bhakti? Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kamchati samas sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. There comes para bhakti. You look at everyone in the world as Bhagavan, it is para bhakti. So you cannot jump there. You have to slowly travel and finish this mind. Amani bhava. Till you reach that state, that will not come. As long as the mind is operating, it will interpret Brahman as world to you. Actually, that is what is happening. You are not seeing world. You are only seeing Brahman. But the mind, like a film, projector film, cinema film, is interpreting Brahman as world to you. It is telling you there is man, there is woman, something is happening in the world, some war is happening, some negative things are happening, and you believe all this bluff. It is the greatest bluffer. Our own mind. It is constantly hypnotizing us and telling us somebody is good, somebody is bad, don't look at there, don't go to him. He is against me. All this whispering from inside, and you believe the mind. Don't believe your mind. Believe the Shastra. Believe Guru. Believe the Master. So you will be free. Two things. Believe the Master, don't believe your mind. The mind will say the world is there. Something is happening there. The Shastra will say only Bhagavan is there, or Brahman alone is there, nothing else. Sarvam khalu idam Brahma. The Shastra says it is all Brahman. So choice is yours. You have to choose what to believe, what to take. If you can take only Shastra, that you will be free. You will be absolutely free. So this Shastra tells you we have time. Life means time. And time, how will I spend? Remember God, meditate, meditate, meditate. Constantly keep your mind in an elevated state. So that is sadhana. So this sadhana is Bhagavata Bhakti. So by this sadhana what will happen? Chittavritti Nirodha. So for Chittavritti Nirodha, what did Shukabrahma Maharshi do? He narrated Krishna Katha. So much delightful Krishna Katha. From that Krishna Katha, so much bhakti movements have come in the world. So Parikshit enjoyed Krishna Katha so much. And we will also, when we read Bhagavata, slowly move to that state, and our mind will enter that rapture, that ecstasy of Krishna Katha. After that, the 11th skandha, Ekadasha skandha, is Mukti skandha, skandha of liberation. Skandha of liberation. Mukti means what? Mukti is not going to Vaikuntham. Mukti means hitva anyatha bhavam swarupena avasthitihi. This is what Bhagavata defines. Mukti means what? Giving up all superimposition, giving up all identity with the body and mind, and abiding as the self, as pure Atma, Shuddha Chaitanya. That is Mukti. Here and now you become liberated the moment you abide in your real nature. So this Mukti is going to be revealed in the 11th skandha, Ekadasha skandha. Here we are entering. In the beginning of Ekadasha skandha, there is another episode, the Nava Yogis, the 9 Jivan Muktas. Each one of them is giving a satsanga to King Nimi. This king Nimi is one Janaka. So to him, he is also Videha Janaka. He is asking Bhagavad Katha. He says, Kshanardobi satsanga shevadhirnanam. If I can get a little bit of time, contact with a great sage, it will be like a great treasure to me. It will be a great treasure to me. Even a momentary contact with a sage will be a great treasure. Whenever I say, I am always reminded about one story which Swami Vivekananda has told. When Swamiji was moving about as Parivrajaka in the Himalayas, he had great contacts. Even after Ramakrishna's Mahanirvana, after Bhagavan's Samadhi, he had contact with many saints. In fact, Swamiji later on says, the revolution that happened in the world by his life, by his talking, he says, all these sages whom I met, all of them have deposited their tapasya in me. And that exploded here. So this, I think he tells this to Sharachandra Chakrabarti. So Swami Vivekananda met Pavahaari Baba. After Ramakrishna's Samadhi, this Pavahaari Baba's ashram is even now, it is there somewhere near Kashi, about 80 kilometers from Kashi. It is Ghazipur. That area is Ghazipur. So there, he was a great Vaishnava sadhu, a yogi. Many places in complete works, when Vivekananda Swami speaks that I learned this lesson from a great sage. Either it will be Ramakrishna or it will be Pavahaari Baba. One lesson which Swamiji repeats is, you want to attain that height of spiritual perfection, first determine your goal. Then find out what is your path. Then the third thing is very profound. He says, first determine the goal, then decide the path, then forget the goal. Otherwise, constantly you will be thinking about the goal. What will I get? What will I get? So this lesson, he said, I learned from Pavahaari Baba. So this sage Pavahaari Baba was a great Vaishnava saint, Vishishtadvaita Sampradaya saint actually. He was a yogi also. So after meeting Pavahaari Baba, Swamiji went to Himalayas, and there in the Pahadis, in the villages, they will go for Bhiksha. In one place, some village people, they said, we have a Mahatma here, you come and see him. Saying that, they took Swamiji to a Mahatma, a saint. And Swamiji says he was a very luminous saint, very radiant. And Swamiji liked him very much. And they were having a mutual discussion. When Swamiji was telling about many stories, and that saint told Swami Vivekananda, have you heard about Pavahaari Baba? Swamiji said, yes, I had great contact with him, very deep contact with him. And Swamiji was narrating a story to that saint. That saint was such a beautiful being that he saw the entire world as God. For him, he didn't even think that the body is mine, the wealth is mine, this is mine, nothing. Nayasya swaha paraiti vitteshu atmanivabhida sarvabhuta samashantaha savai bhagavatottamaha. This is the lakshana of Bhagavatottama. He neither thinks it is mine nor thinks it is another's. That kind of absolute Dravyadvaitam. Bhagavata calls it Dravyadvaitam. So Dravyadvaitam, he was in such a state, Pavahaari Baba. So one day, Pavahaari Baba used to give so much things to devotees. He used to take many things from his cave and give. Sometimes clothes, sometimes wheat, atta, something will go. And so this one thief, he thought so much of wealth is there inside. So one night he entered the cave. And he took the many things, whatever he could take, he took them and put it in the bag. And last he was about to take a vessel. By the time Pavahaari Baba was there, when he saw the saint, he put that vessel there and ran away. Pavahaari Baba took some food in his hand and took the vessel and started chasing him. Went behind that thief and caught hold of him and said, Narayana, you are Narayana, why are you running away from me? This all belongs to you, you have to take this, don't be afraid. You are taking only your wealth, not mine. Saying this, he gave that and gave the food also to Pavahari, to that thief. This is a very well-known story. So Swamiji was narrating the story while that saint was smiling, was laughing. Swamiji asked, why are you laughing? Because I am that thief. He said, I am that thief. See, such grand transformation happened. Completely transformed. See, this cannot be happen by lecture or anything. Sometimes one touch, sometimes one moment of momentary contact with a great being, the person is transformed. So this is satsanga. This is satsanga. See, Girish Chandra Ghosh, how he got transformed. Ramakrishna's presence. So this is satsanga. So this is Chanardhopi satsanga shevadir nrinam. Even a momentary contact with a great sage is a great, great treasure. Shevati means treasure. It's a great treasure. So thus all the Nava yogis, the 9 yogis, Kavi, Hari, Antariksha, Prabuddha, Pipalayana, Havirohotra, Drumila, Chamasa, Karabhajana. These 9 yogis, they spoke Bhagavata Dharma. This is Navayogi Upakyana. After that comes this Uddhava Upadesha. At last, after this elaborate introduction, we are just coming here. So Uddhava, the great devotee of Bhagavan Krishna. Krishna is giving the teaching to Uddhava. This is Uddhava Upadesha. See, in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is a friend. So, Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam. That is Bhagavad Gita. That is also grand. So, Arjuna is Nara and Krishna is Narayana. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam. So, that is Bhagavad Gita. It is given to Partha, the Nara. Here, who is Uddhava? And what is this teaching? And the end of Uddhava Upadesha, Shukacharya says, what is this Uddhava Upadesha? It is Ananda Samudra. He says it is, the Visheshana is given, Yayetat Ananda Samudra Sambhritam Jnanamritam. What does it contain? It contains Jnanamritam, the nectar of Jnanam, Atmajnana, Jnanamritam. And who spoke to whom? Bhagavataya Bhashitam. It is given to Parama Bhagavata, the great devotee Uddhava. Bhagavataya Bhashitam. Who gave? Krishnena Yogeshwara Sevitanghrina Sachraddaya Sevya Jagadvimuchyate. One moment you listen to it, you become absolutely Jivan Mukta, free. You will be free. Such a grand teaching, because the teaching level is different. To Arjuna also Krishna gave jnanam. But to Arjuna, Krishna said, Karmanyeva adhikaraste, natu jnane. Now you don't have that right for renunciation, you have to do karma. But to Uddhava, Krishna says, Nadriyet karma chodanam. Even if you feel like doing, don't do. You renounce everything and go. Tvam tu sarvam parityajya. This is the teaching here to Uddhava. So, this is Bhagavata Dharma. And after teaching it, Bhagavan says, go to Badri and stay there, meditate, 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 nothing else. When I say meditate, 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 I remember Swamiji's words, because Swamiji was working so much in America, and there were many moments when he fed up, moving about with all these worldly people, all these things. So for some devotee he is writing, see, I don't want to do this, I want to run away and go to the forest somewhere, he says, someplace, and there I will sit and read my Gita and meditate and meditate and meditate, and the very thought is enthralling, ennobling, he says, it is ennobling. So that was the state. He was thirsting. So much of money was pouring in, work was progressing, everything was happening around. And that time, Swamiji is writing, I am feeling missing so much my tonsured head and Bhiksha in Rishikesh. Says, I want that Bhikshanna, and just with Mundita Shira, I want to move about as a wandering monk. That is my real nature. All this teacherhood, teaching, world teacher, all these are superimposition. I am the boy who used to sit under the banyan tree of Dakshineshwar and listen to Sri Ramakrishna with ecstasy. So that was his state. So Uddhava Upadesha is pure Paraa bhakti and the highest spiritual wisdom. So where does it come? It comes in the last part of Krishna's. See, Swami Madhavananda's book is there, Ramakrishna book, Uddhava Gita, and they have given the name, the last message of Sri Krishna. It is the last message of Sri Krishna. Before going to Vaikuntha, he is giving this teaching to Uddhava. Because Uddhava knew that Krishna is going to leave. All the Yadavas, they were all ready to go to Prabhasatirtha. They are going to do some Shraddha Karma, Puja, everything there. And the great destiny, they will fight each other and die. So that was the moment. So at that time, Uddhava saw Krishna and he felt, I am going to lose. So many years I have lived with Krishna and now Krishna will leave me. So he fell at feet of Bhagavan and said, Deva Devesha Yogesha Punyashravana Kirtana Samhritye Datkulam Nunam Lokam Samtyakshate Bhavan Viprashapam Samarthopi Pratyahan Nayadishvaraha Naham Tavangrikamalam Shanardhamapi Keshava Tyaktum Samutsuhe Natha Swadhamanayamamapi. Take me to your Dhama, take me to your abode. I don't want to miss you even for a moment, O Bhagavan. It is your will that the sages have given this curse to this Yadava Vamsha, that they will destroy themselves. So, you have decided to destroy your own family. Kantakam kantakenaiva dvayamapi ishituhu samam. With one thorn, you remove another thorn and throw both thorns. Like that with Yadava Vamsha, you have done this Kshatriya Samhara. Great destruction is brought about. Now, Yadavas also have to disappear. So you have decided this. Please take me also with you. See, people think about you, meditate on you and become liberated. But I have lived with you day and night. How can I stay away from you? Tava vikrididam Krishna Nrinam Paramamangalam. Your Leela, whatever you have done in your life, it just lift normal worldly people to great spiritual heights. When they hear Bhagavata, Bhagavad Katha, they give up all worldly thinking and go to great meditative states. See, Swami Abhedananda has written a shloka where he says to Sri Ramakrishna, after seeing people like us who have not seen Sri Ramakrishna but are devoted, he says, Shrutva te bahu bhaktu yuktaha. They are all very devoted to you. But drishtva vayam nacha bhakti yuktaha. Even after seeing you and staying with you, we do not have that much bhakti. Many Mahatmas, like Kanakamma, one great devotee who lived with Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, she used to say, our bhakti is not that great. Even without seeing, all of you have so much bhakti. The same thing they used to feel. We have stayed with Ramana Maharshi, we have seen him, and more than us, you all have bhakti, they used to say. So sometimes, Shravana bhakti is very powerful. Generally, these Bhagavatas, they will say, Duryodhana has seen, but he is not bhakta like Meera. Meera has not seen, but that bhava bhakti is more important. You have bhava bhakti, that is more important than physically seeing. So this is, Uddhava says, Karnapiyusham aswadya tejanti anyaspraham janaha. This Karnapiyusham, that is why Narayana Bhattadiri in Narayaniyam says, Shrutva netraihi shrotraischa pitva Paramarasa sukhambodhi purerameran. Drinking through the netra and shrotra. Through netra how? By seeing that Vatapuradhisha, Guruvayurappa, his divine form, you see through the eyes. Drink through the eyes. And shrotraihi by Bhagavat Katha. So netrai shrotraisha pitva paramarasa sukhambodhi purerameran. So Uddhava says, this Karnapiyusham, it is giving them liberation. And myself, I have stayed with you. I was with you in the bedroom, while taking bath, in the dining room, everywhere I was with you. How can I live without you? So take me also with you. Krishna smiled and said, Uddhava, I will give you the greatest blessing which I have not given to anyone else. That we will see tomorrow evening. The time is very fast running, so we have to hold on to the watch. So that now I request Swami Nityastanandaji Maharaj to release a book. Actually, this book formerly was there. Now the republication has come. So just Swamiji will hand over this book to some devotee. Just a common introduction about that book. In the still lake of contemplation, this is the book. So this Swamiji will. Swamiji can. Yes, I will tell Swamiji. So this is, this book was, I also have to read what I have. So this book formerly was written from collections from the diary and talks. So this is what you are listening, like that, small contemplations. So that is what this book contains, and some poems also. I think no poems, only sayings. So only manana. This book contains so many manana of sadhana. So this is, many people, devotees, they have this book. So now it is a new publication, new release, new edition. So that Swamiji will release. Yes. Swami Saukyanandaji Maharaj will receive this book from Nityastanandaji Maharaj. धन्यवाद स्वामी। नमस्कार स्वामी। सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं नित्यमनाकाशं परमाकाशं गोष्ठप्राङ्गणरिङ्गणलोलमनायासं परमायासं मायाकल्पितनानाकारमनाकारं भुवनाकारं श्मामानाथमनाथं प्रणमत गोविन्दं परमानन्दं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं भज गोविन्दं परमानन्दं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं भज गोविन्दं परमानन्दं यतो ममात्मा भवसि त्वमेव ततो न वाच्यं मम किञ्चिदस्ति यथा तवेष्टं कुरु मां तथैव त्वाम् आत्मनाथं रमणं भजामि। सर्वत्र गोविन्दनाम संकीर्तनं जानकीकान्तस्मरणं हर नमः पार्वतीपतये। जय रामकृष्ण।